Hello YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum from YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. This is another Whiteboard Wednesday. What kind of budget do you actually need? How do you know if you're budgeting the right way? I take issue with those last two words, the right way, maybe three words. What you're looking for, a lot of times, let's say you type it into Google, how do I know I'm budgeting the right way? And you'll get all sorts of formulas and different kind of frameworks that you can use. We have our own. We have those 4 rules. You give every dollar a job according to your priorities. You look ahead and set aside for larger, less frequent expenses, what we call your true expenses. You embrace those. Number 3, you roll with the punches. You change your budget as needed. And number 4, you age your money. Now, when you're doing those things, exactly how should you budget? How much should you budget for groceries, for housing, for health insurance, for kids' birthday presents? We don't know. That's not one of our rules. Our rule is that you budget according to your priorities. What I love, you might hate, and what I hate, you might love. So we obviously can only agree on the rules, and then from there, we diverge. There is a graph with today's Whiteboard Wednesday. Over time, you will notice that your ownership of the budget increases. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, how do I know if I'm budgeting the right way? And you Google and it says, hey, you're supposed to spend 25% of your money on debt servicing, 25% on bills, 25% on discretionary, 25% for retirement. Okay, that's a great start. You're over here. You just barely started on the budgeting train and you don't have a lot of ownership. It's not really your own. It's not your own priorities. It's not your own creation. You're just kind of taking something boilerplate and you're applying it. And it works. That works. A lot of times when we really just need to get moving, we'll use something boilerplate like these formulas that say 2x of this, 3x of this, some percentage of that, some percentage goes here. It's all great. Over time, you will notice that your budget becomes yours. One small problem with looking at those formulas and those frameworks that kind of try and prescribe percentages, you have to look at where people live. If you live on either side of the country, then your housing percentage that they allow is probably insufficient, or you're living somewhere where you wouldn't want to live, right? Or you have 9 roommates, maybe. So that you can't really take as a truth. You have to adjust it. So right away you notice, oh, I'm having to adjust this one rule. Then you'll look at another rule and you'll say, well, gosh, I'm a resident, I'm a medical student, I have a lot more debt. My debt service is far more than 30% of my income, or whatever the number is. That, again, is an exceptional situation. You and a bunch of other students or former students all have loads of debt. Again, the framework has to bend. So they're great starting points, but the real hard work where you're Googling, like, how do I do this the right way? How do I budget the right way? And you're Googling that and you're trying to figure it out. The harder thing to do is just for you to ask yourself, not Google, what you really care about, what you really want your money to do for you. And you find that when your money and your priorities, instead of kind of going like this, when they start to go like this, you feel good. Even though you aren't making more money, you haven't cut back anywhere, you're just feeling good because your money is doing what you want. Meaning, in other words, you're doing what you want with your life. And how can that not feel good? I will see you guys next week.